Hey guys, it's Matt for Antihero magazine, and I'm joined today by Dave and Sam from Savage Messiah. How the hell are you guys?
Very well, thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So I wondered what we were just chatting about how the tour was going, and you were doing and how you were doing the Testament run last year. So how does it feel to be coming back to Southampton about just over a year after the last one?
Yeah, great. We were here with Testament last year, and it was a highlight of the tour, I remember. And it's good to be back. It's interesting visiting all the old venues from the previous tours and coming back, and it's been a different vibe, different tour, different show, you know.
Is this the only repeat venue, or are you revisiting other ones?
There's been a couple, but also we've done, since that Testament tour, we've done so many things. It's like we played in America for the first time, we played in Japan for the first time, we've done a new album, the album's now come out, we're doing the press cycle, we're doing everything. So it feels really weird, because even on that Testament tour, some of these venues felt like really big to us. And then we went and played the second biggest indoor arena in the world.
Wow.
And now we're coming back to these things and we're going, I thought it was a lot bigger than that. A lot bigger than I remember. So it's funny.
But yeah, so much has changed for you guys since the last album. New guitarist, new logo, new label. Does it feel like a different band than when you were doing this for the last record?
Yeah, I suppose. But my outlook's always been the same. So it's like an evolutionary thing. So because it's a gradual change over time, it doesn't feel particularly alien. It wasn't like one day we just flipped the switch and went, right, this is what we're going to do from now on. So it's been gradual and, feels good, whatever. So.
And the new album's Hands of Fate, it's out now on Century Media Records now, isn't it?
Yep.
So what made you want to make that jump over to Century Media? What was it about them that appealed to you?
Well, we actually took the plunge, we took a big risk, and we just felt that our relationship with Earache had kind of reached a conclusion. We just felt that their direction had changed, and we couldn't really feel like we could compete for attention with their kind of rock bands that were doing really, really well, and so we felt kind of marginalised. So we just reached out to them and we realised that it wasn't in our interest to stay with them, and they were very gracious about it, and they released us from the contract, which was super cool. So we took that probably quite unprecedented step of sort of like handing our record deal back. We don't want it, and then we made the album ourselves, and then we shopped it to all of the big metal labels, and surprisingly to us at least, we had 5 really solid offers from all of the big metal labels, but Century Media just edged it with their kind of their approach was very even-handed.
So you made the record before you got a record deal.
Yep.
Did that make you guys quite anxious, being in that scenario? Like, oh, this album has to be good, otherwise we won't get signed.
I suppose in hindsight, but at the time you can't think about it because you just got to get it done. But yeah, in hindsight it was pretty touch and go, because we could have very easily been sitting in a situation where nobody wanted the album. Then what would we have done?
Yeah, in some sort of weird limbo state.
But fortune favours the brave. I've
Absolutely.
always believed that, and it paid off for us. So here we are.
And for me, as a fan, I have to say this is probably your best album. I think either this or Fateful Dark has got to be your best one.
Sure.
And I think on this one, because there are so many massive choruses, like the title track and Wing and a Prayer. So I wanted to ask, for you, what's the secret to making like a brilliant chorus, like a really catchy chorus?
Right from the title and right backwards. It's that simple. I heard Sting say that in an interview, that he doesn't start a song with the first lyric. He starts with the title. And then you ask yourself, well, what is it going to be about? And that gives you the colour of the music, and then you go from there. And it's just, I guess just 4 albums in, you just kind of learn your craft, and you kind of have all these different random influences, and everybody pulls from different places, and you kind of try and put it through this collective filter. And I sing how I sing, he plays guitar how he plays it. It's always going to sound in that kind of way, and that's kind of just how we do it.
So was that for all the songs? Did the title come first, or were there other bits that came first on other songs as well?
No, pretty much. Pretty much title. Start from a title, and then you build the hook, and then you just follow the sort of the rules of songwriting have been around for 100 years or more. It's not that complicated. A lot of bands, it's interesting. A lot of bands kind of forget. They kind of start with the riff. And now there's nothing wrong with having a whole library of riffs. Writing riffs is important, but if you start a song with a riff, and then you do another riff, and then you do another riff, and then the vocals come in, you kind of lost a lot of impact.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
So we just kind of we basically try and write pop songs, but we're a heavy metal band.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. So is that the approach you've used on albums before? Or is this the first time you've kind of used that?
Kind of came into play on The Fateful Dark. We realised that's because the album before, Plague of Conscience, was so completely all over the place musically. You know, that was written in that sort of, you know, right from riffs, build riffs, and it was really funny when we were doing it. I remember distinctly in certain songs going, "All right, that riff will be the chorus." You know, no more thought than that riff will be the chorus. Not, well, what does it mean? What are you trying to say? What's the hook? Just that riff. So that's why if I listen to that record now, it's very frustrating because there's not many big hooks and choruses on it. It could have been great, but it probably for me didn't really come out that great.
So you're not a fan of that record then?
No.
That surprises me, man.
Fateful Dark, I like that album.
No, I'm talking about Plague of Conscience.
Plague of Conscience.
Yeah. Do you like Plague of Conscience?
I like Plague of Conscience. I really like the epic song that was on that album, the last one, Mask of Anarchy.
Yeah, that was a really good song. You should be proud of that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool for what it was, and at the time it was the best that I could possibly do, and I put my heart and soul into making it.
It was interesting, the making of that album as well, because I used to be friends with the band before I joined the band, and we used to rehearse in the same studio, so I was like hanging around with Dave, and we'd be mates and stuff, and I'd be in their rehearsal room, kind of watch them write that album, which was really interesting. And I remember along the way, you know, Mask of Anarchy, remember when the writing of that, and the riffs when they were coming in with it, and, you know, putting the parts together, and then listening to it when it's done. It was an interesting perspective to have, you know, on that album. So I like that album, yeah.
And Sam, you yourself, you used to be the guitarist for Devilment, of course. So did that play a part in this band getting on the bill with Cradle, do you think?
No, possibly, I'm not sure, you know. But it's nice being on tour with Danny again, and I've known the Crale guys since Devilment as well, because Devilment and Crale did a couple of shows together. But it's just cool to know the band that you're on tour with, as opposed to not knowing them at all. And it's like the vibe's different, and you know. But yeah, it's definitely nice being on tour with them. You know.
And did the rest of the guys in Savage Messiah, did you all know Crale before, or is this your first time really meeting them?
We'd met them, we played a show, they did a special show about 3 or 4 months ago to test a new crew that they have, because they're embarking, this is the start of a big world tour for them.
Yeah.
And we were invited to open that show, but it was a one-off, and we met them, and it was great. I mean, I just, you know, Danny's been he's a really nice guy, he's really friendly to go speak to him. He's been very nice to us, so yeah, no, it's been cool.
And I have been told that on this tour you're playing a ton of songs from the new album, like 6 or 7, I've been told.
I can tell you exactly how many.
Oh yeah, go for it, man.
I think it is 6.
I think it might just be 6, but if I was to count off the actual set list itself, I'll be able to tell you that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
this is the first touring we've done on a new album, but we have a lot of touring up our sleeves, and we're announcing a tour the day after this. Actually, we're announcing 2 tours the day after this finishes. And of course, we're going to do a headlining run. I don't know when this is airing, but
yeah,
we're doing a headlining run in the UK in April.
Sweet.
And we'll play a lot more old songs.
Yeah.
Hopefully our older fans will come out to those shows. And, you know, it's just that we have a 45-minute set, which is actually kind of a luxury for us. But we just feel really excited about the new album, and you know, and that's what we're selling, that's what we're promoting. So we wanted to get those songs worn in live.
Do you have a preference between the shorter set and the longer ones?
A longer set for sure, 100%. Always a longer set, because the more time you're on stage, the more time you relax into the gig.
Yeah.
And that's like important. Often when we've supported before and you get half an hour, you know, you're always grateful to be on the bill. But half an hour, you know, the amount of work that goes into this, the travelling, being away from home, and you know, to play for half an hour can be bitterly frustrating, because you just kind of got going, kind of got the crowd on board, and then it's, this is our last song, good night. And you're like, I mean, we played Download, we had a 25-minute set, you know, it's like...
Oh, was that this year did you play? Or?
No, 2016.
16 last year.
How was that?
It's great.
Great? Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, because Download, you know, it's one of those big festivals that everyone knows, so being able to be invited to go and play there was an honour, and we had a really good show. And interestingly enough, it rained really badly, and we were in the tent stage.
Oh, so you got a lot more people
so it
in
worked
there.
out perfectly for us because everyone rushed into the tent so they wouldn't get wet.
Elements on your side
And
of that
then
one.
discovered a new band. Which
I
was
mean,
great.
and I got to say hello Donington, which, you know, for anyone who started out in a band to be able to say that in a non-sarcastic manner is pretty cool.
That's a pretty damn cool thing, yeah. And I meant to ask as well, on this tour, how are the new songs going down? Because I've seen like the live streams you've been doing on Facebook and all that, and they seem to be going really, really well. But from your end, how are the fans looking when you're playing the new stuff?
I love it, I gotta be honest. I mean, we wrote this album to have sort of anthemic live songs and to finally see them translate into that audience. And what's interesting as well is on this tour, I would say 90% of the Cradle fans don't even know who we are, and we're having to win them over with songs that we've only played live 5 times or something. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's going great. I can't wait to get them on a big festival stage. You know, it's exciting.
Are there any festival plans for 2018? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, so we're doing, it's not entirely announced yet, I don't know when I can announce it, but there are festivals confirmed.
Yes.
And will be announced soon in the UK and abroad. And I mean, the one that we're doing in December is Ruhrpott, which is at the Turbine Harlow in Oberhausen, which is like a big famous old venue. I think they sold like 8,000 or 9,000 tickets already, so that's going to be good. Then of course we're going back to Japan, which is always exciting to do. So yeah, no, festival announcements very soon.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, and I just want to ask one last question before we wrap up. Between yourself and Cradle of Filth, a bit of an odd mix. Cradle a lot heavier, a lot more sort of death metal-y. So I just want to ask, like, was there any sort of anxiety going into it with how the bands are going to gel or anything like that?
No. 2017, man, it's and I would say Cradle in the UK at least have more of what I would consider a mainstream metal audience. It's like the Metal Hammer readership.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it. Which is our audience, really, our key audience. So, no, for us, it's actually Cradle. They're kind of extreme, but they have a hell of a lot of melody in their music. A lot of Iron Maiden influence. A lot of twin lead guitar, harmony guitar. You know, and people don't kind of give them the credit for that. But for us, it's actually worked out really well.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for your time today, guys.
More
Everyone go and buy Hands of Fate. It's a fucking excellent record. Until then, Dave Silver, Sam Jr. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.